1, 2, 3. Hi everyone, welcome to NYC Chat Room with Tiffany and Lauren. Today we're reviewing Marriage Bootcamp episode 5.
Yeah. I'm going to start with Jessica Dime and Sean.
Does my hair look weird? I gotta do something different. It was looking weird on camera, so I went back.
This week, they really didn't have too much going on. They had some of the exercises they did was the pool exercise, Jessica and DePaul in the pool, and a maze exercise. Like we said, they really didn't have too much going on. Like we keep saying every week, they seem to be a fairly solid couple.
Yeah.
I don't really see too many issues going on with them other than more superficial things than anything. That's something that they could definitely work through, which I think they can. Every time they do an exercise, they always refer to the hood and how things they do in the hood, which I always think is cute because, you know, it seems like they have their own little inside thing with each other. Mm-hmm. So I always like it. I think they're
hometown.
Cute. Yeah, they're cute. I like the two of them. So yeah, they pretty much didn't have anything during the exercises that was done. Mm-mm. They didn't have too much conflict or anything like that during this episode. So it's not much really to say about them two.
I wish they would press them more on the one-on-one about the date and what's holding things up. Mm-hmm. Their interaction is fine.
Right.
It just seems like he's just very comfortable in the space that he's in. And I don't feel like they really bring that up. Mm-hmm. In the one-on-one sessions and really like shine light on it. Maybe that's coming up in future episodes, but so far they just let them exist and it's been pretty smooth sailing.
Right. We haven't heard too much of, why the date, it can be because he thinks she's, ratchet or whatever. Mm-hmm. There must be something more to why the date hasn't been set. So I guess hopefully they'll pry into that a little bit more in future episodes.
So next we're going to talk about Drew, aka Lil Fizz, and Tiffany.
And I still don't like him.
I just feel like it's so fake. He is being a little bit of an asshole, but I think that he's just trying to make himself interesting on the show, because if he was being cool and they were just being cordial, they'd be boring. So I think he's just trying to be fun.
Maybe he's trying to get that stigma of him being, I guess, soft. Maybe he doesn't want to come off as being soft. But Drew, you are, please. Ain't nobody scared of you.
Yeah.
You're just a jerk, and you're making yourself even a bigger jerk by the way you're acting on this show.
When they did the pool exercise where they were doing like a tug of war, his first thing was, I'm gonna knock her ass in this pool.
Yeah, like what is wrong with you?
He's so hostile. Why are you so hostile, Drew?
And he was like, my heart is ice. I have no feelings. Like, shut up.
People who say that be the most hurt puppies on the planet.
Right.
Like,
pretty much.
Got this ice box.
Yeah, like who are you trying to prove that to?
Okay,
you're trying to prove it to yourself that you're just hurt and you don't want to ever deal with your hurt.
Right.
So, Drew, shut your ass up. I can't get on my nerves.
They're both kind of getting on. She got that high pitch ass voice.
Yeah, and then she kept hounding him this week about the whole Nia situation. They're making it seem like it's something.
She don't know how to hound like a true woman would. Because unless they edit it out, I didn't hear her explicitly say, "Did you have sex with her?" She's like, "What was that? Did you go out?" They went, he lied.
Yeah, men, you can't play those games with them because they'll skate around it any way they possibly can. So you got to be very direct.
Ask me if I have sex
like
with
you
her.
didn't say that, you didn't ask that.
Yeah, I was waiting for her to be like, did you have sex with her or not? She's asked, did you go out?
Right.
I'd be less concerned if people shared a meal or a drink together than did you have sex with her?
Right.
She didn't.
And if you ask that question and he still does that, well, I mean, why is that important? Then that's your answer, girl.
When Nia and Soulja Boy were talking about it, Nia did say, the night that you did this, that's the night I was with Drew. I think she meant with. I think things got popping.
I did too.
Sex took place.
It definitely did. They
now
just
they're
wanna, they just comfortable with each other. And like even Nia, she's like, I know Drew more than anybody knows him in this house. Like, okay, girl, like. You putting 20 on 10.
She probably woke up and she made eggs for the son. And
that's what Tiffany was saying. She was like, oh, she met your son. She's been around him. Like, so there's definitely more than what they're saying. I mean, if they want to keep it under wraps, that's fine. As long as I mean, Tiffany and Drew ain't no real couple. Yeah. But, I mean, I'm sure Soulja knows the truth about what happened or what they've done. So, yeah, so she asked Nia, she was talking to Tammy, and she asked Nia because Drew was basically not giving her a straight answer. And when she asked Nia basically didn't say that Drew's a liar. She was trying to just make it seem like, I mean, I'm not sure, what he told you, because he told her that he mostly saw her in group settings, that it wasn't a one-on-one type of situation. And Nia pretty much made it seem like we did have one-on-one situations. She seemed shocked
that he would lie about that.
Yeah.
Like, did you guys go out? Yeah. It's like he said you didn't. Oh.
Right.
Well, I could see why he.
She's like, well, I understand his side, and then I understand her side. Like, what's the side?
There's the truth, and then there's a lie.
Right.
So there's nothing.
So how are you understanding a side that's not true?
Right.
Like, there's no need to protect it if it was before Tiffany even came in the picture. What are you lying for?
And she doesn't strike me as a real pissed off girlfriend is gonna be come here.
Right.
We're gonna talk about this together.
And you're in the same house, so why wouldn't it be a conversation?
Drew, she said that you guys did go together. Right. So now what is it?
I mean, I understand maybe they're trying to, like he said, respect Nia and Soulja Boy's relationship by not, making it a
not
thing.
Really doing that because she could have been like, I don't want to get involved.
Right.
But she talks about it. So once you talk about it, I'm gonna call nah, let's all talk about it.
Yeah.
Minus Soulja Boy because he's gonna get in the way of me getting my answers. So excuse me, y'all can argue later, but I need to know because she said that y'all did go out.
Exactly. So
that's the way that would have went.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess we'll find out more on the next episode as far as what's going on.
I don't feel like they're confronting the juicy
They're
parts
not.
on the show. Like, no one has said it. Did you have sex with one another?
Right. Maybe that's a build-up question that they're trying to do.
Because that's what we want to know. Did y'all smash or not?
Right. Just say yes or no.
Because people can smash and claim like, oh, we're just friends. It's nothing.
Right.
But oh yeah, we did do that. But that's nothing.
Right.
So I asked the question, like, what happened? I want to know.
I want to know.
The audience wants to know.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see as the episodes go on.
Right.
They're gonna really ask the serious question that we want to know.
Right. So simple.
Yeah. And even during like she said, the tug of war thing, like Drew is being such a, oh God, he is such a jerk. He is such a jerk. Like, regardless of if you guys are together or not, why you gotta say all of that about pulling a girl? Like, shut up.
Yeah, I think he's just
he's annoying.
Yeah,
he's just annoying.
So next we're gonna talk about Soulja Boy and Nia. Nia and Soulja Boy this episode, just a little bickering back and forth.
Everybody was high this episode.
Yeah.
Like, there was a lot of highness going on.
That was hilarious.
Like, everything they did, everybody was just high.
They came out the maze. They had a maze where they had to direct each other, and it was all like,
with Nia and Soulja Boy. Soulja was like, I'm just gonna come in there and get you, man, because I can't do this. It's too stressful. It's hot and I'm high. Like, I'm just gonna come get you. But they didn't have a whole bickering session like they normally do every other episode.
I didn't like, he did ask her the status of their relationship.
He did.
And she held back a little bit, which I appreciated because with people, men who are childish, if when you switch up on them, they tend to, it's like a form of discipline, the way you would a child. So all of this vulnerability he's giving her, we haven't seen this before on previous reality shows. And I suspect that this is because she's kind of, toughened up a little bit. So now he's coming a little softer, a little different with it.
Right.
And I didn't really appreciate the judge kind of chastising her for it. Like, oh, he's being vulnerable and you shut him down, even if it takes 10 years. I was like, bitch, what?
Yeah.
If it takes 10 years, she's supposed to open right up.
Right, and I think that's what she was telling him too, because in the beginning of the episode, he was kind of feeling some type of way because he was like, oh, you have fizz in your ear or something like that.
Yeah.
And she said, all I said was, I'm not as forgiving as I thought. And he took that to offense, which you do see sometimes with a lot of men. Like, they'll do, and then finally when you're like, no, I'm done, or I need some space, and you're like, well, fuck you then. Like,
yeah.
How?
You're not gonna work at all after all of that stuff you put her through. You're not willing to earn her trust back.
Right, and they'll come with the, oh, forgive me, here's flowers, here's this, here's that, here's this.
And then if you don't, gave her money And you know, he's like, after everything I do for you, she's like, and I knew that was why he treats her like that, because of the monetary inequality between them. So the judge said, I was like, if it takes 10, he should have been, I would have thought that a woman in particular, an older, wiser woman would have said, Soulja Boy, give her some time. Show that you're being consistent, because
I think
you're switching
because
up on people.
She's older is why she probably said that. I think a lot of older women, not all, but from what I've seen, they tend to have more of that old school thing, like, all right, well, he doing
Stand
good
by
now.
your man.
Yeah, like, he doing good now. Come on, let's go.
True change has to be tested by time.
It's gradual. Right,
so
it's a gradual thing.
If you were treating me like this, and now you're trying to show me a different person, you have to put in the time so I can really like say, oh my gosh, it's been some time and you're still doing.
And like she said, she's not
change.
sure if he's really changed yet,
right,
because he still flies off the handle when he feels like it.
Right.
And then, you know, when she did say, you know, I don't know what we are yet. We don't have a label yet. And he was like, well, there's your answer. You said your answer. So
that's a scare tactic.
Yeah, he's not ready yet.
I'm not sticking around.
Like, fine, I'm gonna go deal with so and so in this one.
That's not genuine. So I didn't agree with the judge. I sat there like, if it takes 10 years.
And then to find out, I didn't even know he released pictures of her.
Oh, yeah.
I did not remember that.
You sent out my nudes.
Listen.
That's really abusive.
That's
crazy as fuck.
That's some Rob Kardashian and Blac Chyna type shit.
And now he's asking her, do you want to get married? So this is,
when we gonna get married?
How would you feel moving forward? You marry this woman. You don't put out your wife's news. What if you went on to have children with her? You put out the mother of your children, your life partner, you put out their nudes. Why would you ever do something so corny?
And how could you ever expect her to just forgive you like that? Like, that is something
we were stuck on just the comments about,
right?
Oh, you never gonna taste this D, your piece stinks.
Right, saying all those vulgar things, and then for you to release her intimate pictures that she trusted you. Listen,
I don't know how you could even get her on the phone after that.
Yeah, that right there to me is like, that's the ultimate betrayal. Like, you just...
It's actually a crime in a lot of states now.
It is, and like I said, that's why Blac Chyna and Rob had their whole issue, because don't go out there releasing people's news and people's tapes and
that's so low.
Why would you do that? Like, that's some... No. So yeah, Soulja Boy he needs to give that girl some time. I mean, now we see he over here flaunting the new one, like we said the last time. So
and that's he's probably just genuine. If he really wanted that to be his wife, he would do the work.
He would.
And even if the show was 2 years ago, 2 years is no time compared to the 10 years they've known each other, where he's been doing fuck shit. And
then you can tell that he's still young mind, because even when he's saying it, he was like, so we boyfriend and girlfriend then? Like, you grown. What are we in elementary? Like, check box yes, check box no. That's control. Yeah. He wants to have that control, and
she tell her where she can go, what she can do.
Like, and she's not willing to do that right now. So I mean, kudos to Nia for So it just takes a long time sometimes, but we eventually get there.
Like, come on, son.
Yeah, no. So next we're gonna talk about Tammy and Waka. Waka isn't annoying with his behavior. He's also very juvenile in a lot of the things we do. The way he was like coming at her and it was like, come here. Like, don't play like that. Like,
I thought she was gonna swing on him.
she wanted
was really dead ass.
She sounded like a little mouse. Like,
dude, count, boy, count.
Yeah, count my ass.
Keep turning up because you got a camera.
No, I don't want to be disrespectful, so I'm going upstairs.
Yeah, please go upstairs if I Donkey Kong your ass.
You ain't gonna do
I bet I do. Go ahead. Turn up right now. Turn up right now. Come here, baby.
I'm not playing. Get off of me. Stop, because you always do that. Stop.
Come here.
Like, she was so annoyed with him because he kept like, grow up, sir. Like, grow up. What is wrong with you men?
Yes, he is really immature and she is very angry.
She is.
And I mean, that might not seem like much of a revelation, but just watching this episode, I'm like, wow, like she really got some deep shit with her.
Yeah.
And she opened up about her past abusive marriage that she was in, which I really appreciated because I just see that she's been through a lot. And, there's a method behind her madness, I guess, where, there's just some pain there.
Yeah.
And I think as a woman, I just identify with that. Like, oh, Tammy, like, You haven't been through some shit, and now you're with a guy who's a cheater.
Right.
So he might not hit you,
and they don't give you a chance to let your guard down.
Yeah.
And I think that's what she feels. Like every time I try to, and Tammy has always been, you know, as they want to call it, a rider, whatever, for him, regardless of what has been going on. She's never went out there and talked about him crazy. You've never heard anything other than when they broke up with each other and she moved out or whatever the case was. But you never heard her out here, you know, twerking in club. Like, you didn't hear anything crazy about her. And I think that was because she still wanted to have this thing with him. She didn't want to, she felt like that would disrespect him. And she never wanted to do that, which, I mean, you know, hey girl, that's you. But yeah, he's just so immature with the way he comes at her because he knows she's hot-headed. So why do you keep pushing her buttons like that and then trying to bring it back? Like, stop doing that every minute. Like, that is exhausting for a person to have to deal with, especially someone, you know, who has, you know, that wall up. It's hard to get in, and she let him in, and he took advantage of that in many ways, and I think he still is, actually.
I don't think she married well. So she had a bad marriage the first time, and then you got with this entertainer. What is she really, how long did they court? I don't think it was very long. And she jumped into this marriage. So I don't think she was very protective of her spirit.
I do think they were together for a while.
Before they got married?
Yeah, I do, because they got married, I remember, I think it was on Love and Hip Hop. And I think it was because they were together for a little while. So I don't think it was a short period of time. I could have sworn it was at least a couple of years that they were together. They
married in 2014. Revealed she was unfaithful to Walker in the past. Okay. We didn't know. So apparently she wasn't out here being respectful. Months when he was in the house where he was sleeping on the couch and I was evil. I was like, you can get out. He was just like, no, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. When we separated right before I let him, I said, I promise to God, I'll never love you the same. So when we got back together, I had that in my head. I was like, I can lie to myself, but I can't lie to God. Afterward, I told him I meant what I said when I told you I would never love you the same. And he was like, I know, because you're going to love me more. I admit she feels even stronger in her relationship now. We can't tell. Being able to trust him because you once faced infidelity is hard. Where's the part where she cheated? Oh, okay. Here it is. I've cheated on him in the past as well. People only see one side of the story, the 32-year-old told Hollywood Unlocked. She never slept with someone, but she did imply she engaged in some emotional cheating.
Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
You had sex, Tammy. It's fine. Just say it. Nobody gonna call that cheating. I had emotional cheating. That's not cheating. It's inappropriate. Not. It might be,
but it's not cheating.
Girl, you know you cheated.
And don't be putting that on yourself if you ain't really do it.
Exactly. Goodbye.
Yeah. Anyway.
But that hurt. I don't think she was ready to be married because she's a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I don't think she was ready to marry anyone.
Episode.
You don't have hurt and pain and then jump into another relationship hoping that Prince Charming is gonna fix whatever it is you came in with, whether it's from your childhood, a previous relationship, just the shit that you have within your spirit. You gotta be whole before you marry someone. I think Tammy is a very strong woman. I think she's I'm not saying that she's weak or not worthy of a husband. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I can see the pain and I identify with her pain. And I really just was like, oh, Tammy, the whole episode, like, oh, like she really has gone through some stuff. But Waka Flocka definitely doesn't help with the infidelity stuff. So I don't think this marriage is feeding her spirit. When the judge says Tammy is tired, she was like she really is tired.
Yeah. Looking crazy, takes attention away and you're only focused on the crazy. So that's all he was trying to do.
She got way too mad about them grits. She got way too mad, too fast. She doesn't forgive him. I think that's what that's really about. She doesn't forgive her ex and she doesn't forgive him and she's tired of men and their bullshit. And she just wants to curse them the fuck out. And it's grits! Like she was so mad. I'm like, oh my God.
That's why you be hearing. Nah, I don't condone this, but you always hear men getting hit with these hot grits. Like, y'all come at women in the wrong times. Like, don't come when I got something hot. Like, just step away. Step away.
She does swear a lot. I understood what he was saying because her tone is very high pitched.
It is.
And bitch, even when she was talking about herself with the tug of war exercise, he was like, oh, this bitch is going down. He was like, I did not say that.
He was like, you a lady, man.
Stop talking to me like I'm a nigga. I don't like that. I wouldn't like it either.
That cracked.
She's a potty mouth.
When she starts going off, it's like a little chihuahua.
Like, oh my goodness, she is like a little chihuahua. She is so little and mad.
It cracks me up.
She a chill pill.
I like Tammy still. She cracks me up. I like her.
Everybody struggles with a little anger.
You know.
Now, I'm not judging. I'm not saying I'm better.
Yeah.
It's just to watch it. I was wondering why.
You're like, that's what I was gonna say. I was wondering, like, damn, do I go off like that?
Yeah, man.
Like, I'm sorry. You feel like calling people like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I ain't mean it.
Maybe I do too much.
Yeah.
We still like you, Tammy.
You do think about that afterwards, like, you know, I did too much in that moment. You gotta chuckle to yourself, like, I was crazy.
That happens for me instantly. Like, my mouth will say something, and I'll be like, and you be like, hold that face, because you're a gangster. But you be like, damn.
You go look in the mirror, like, girl, now you know you wrong.
It comes out of my mouth. I'm like, ooh.
Like, you did not have to do that just now. You end up calling, like, we call each other, like, guess what I just did? Yeah. So, yeah. You can tell she goes off, but
I'm pulling for you, Tammy.
I am
that
too.
You find healing because you're beautiful.
You are.
You got a banging body.
You're smart. You got your little businesses
you
going.
Got a nice little voice that you got there.
Yeah, you got a lot going on.
I hope that you really can have the marriage that you deserve.
I do.
And the life that you deserve.
Yeah,
so
but we gonna
God
see.
Bless you, Tammy.
So lastly, we have Lil Mo, and her trifling ass husband, Carl. Yeah.
I hope
they left us with a cliffhanger, so we got to see what's going to happen the next episode. But pretty much this episode, they're just a weird couple.
They are weird. It's like
she's so dependent on him.
Like those relationships you see where somebody marries them for papers or for money or something. It's just not very, there's no chemistry between them.
Yeah, and it's like she's always like, she depends on him. Everything's my best friend, my best friend.
She's very sad.
Yeah, you could tell she's been through a lot of stuff
ready to cry.
With men.
She used the word self-medicating. That's pretty heavy. I think that she says she's in the house, she feels lonely. I think she hides behind her humor.
Yeah.
So she's like,
she's insecure.
I'm laughing. But she's really, really just a lost.
Yeah, I think she's very
insecure. Woman.
Yeah, she is.
And the best thing she should do, I really feel like, because of the cliffhanger, which was that my man decided to FaceTime a woman.
Yeah, we don't know who the woman was. They haven't said anything yet. But he asked the woman if she loved him, and the woman said, yes, I love you, and he said, good. That was where the episode ended, and it was at night. He kept looking around to see if somebody was watching him. So it wasn't like,
oh, that was my cousin, because they'd be like, oh, I'm talking to my cousin Tina.
Right. Because even the woman asked, are you alone?
That's how a bitch... Oh, Lord. I mean, when you get that disrespectful, it's not even worth turning up.
Yeah.
It's just get your shit and get out of here. I don't know you. Let's work out when you'll see the children. I don't got time.
Yeah, that's
because there's no respect left. So what are you fighting for? What are you turning up for? It's just
that's a waiting to exhale moment. When it was it Angela Bassett? When she was like, get your shit. Oh, no. That wasn't waiting to exhale. That was when she was what was the movie? I can't even think now. She was like, get your shit and get out. Like she felt that in that moment. I can't remember what movie. I'm gonna get it.
I feel like when it's that disrespectful, they don't even deserve your rage. It's just like, this is over.
Yeah.
This
and you can tell, and this is something that hasn't happened once with him. This has happened a few times with him getting caught up with other women or whatever was going on.
I will leave that house.
She's mentioned that already. That this has happened a few times with him.
It's all been jokes, but at this point, you did that to me. Like, I'm sorry, I have to leave.
Yeah.
I have to leave.
How dare you?
When I get to the house, you better not be there.
You better be gone.
Your stuff is gonna. I'm not even gonna do you dirty because doing dirty, that's when you still kind of.
They still got you.
I'm getting you hauling some movers. Where would you like your things?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna call some lawyers. Don't. That's it.
Especially with his little slow looking at. Like, you got. Ooh, he got some nerve. He really got some nerve.
You follow her Instagram? Are they still together?
Yes. She calls him her best friend. Or him, her best friend. She posts him all the time. They're always with each other. They just did a Breakfast Club interview with Charlamagne, DJ Envy, and Angela Yee.
I guess for some people that's better than being alone.
I guess, because, I mean, she said this is her third time around, and, you know, she didn't have the baby with him. And I guess she doesn't want to do it anymore. Which, I mean, I don't blame her, but do you really want to stay in something like that? If anything, just be alone if you don't want to go through the whole marriage thing again. Like, just be by yourself.
Being by yourself is so peaceful.
And that's the thing. I don't think Lil Mo has ever been comfortable by herself. And when you break up with someone, you have to get comfortable with yourself again before you can go. I wonder if that's because she always mentions about her name ringing bells. Mm-hmm. And when they talked about the social media and they were talking about house party, how you can FaceTime multiple people. She was like, well, when you famous, I don't think you should. So I think she secludes herself because she feels like she's secretly Beyonce and we all missed it. So I think that she feels like, I can't trust anyone. I can't. But your husband is very friendly and very trusting.
Okay, so anything you're trying to keep secret, he's very out there, as she's mentioned a couple times. So I think that she isolates herself and then she makes it so that my husband is my everything. Because if I get girlfriends and they're going to tell my business to the Inquirer, nobody wants to read your business, Little Mo.
She feels and then everybody's her family. Anytime she talks about someone on Instagram. Because she says, you know, I wish people would ride for me the way I ride for them. She really does ride for everybody. Like, you got an album coming out, you got a clothing line, a shoe line, a hair line. She will promote the shit out of your stuff.
She's looking for love. She's looking for validation.
That's what it is, because she does
like that with that personality where it's like you martyr yourself hoping that
somebody's
going to be like,
oh
my gosh, she's the best person in the world. But people tend to just be self-absorbed.
Right.
Not intentionally. You just can't.
If you do something for someone, just do it because, you know, you're just doing it.
Out of the kindness of your heart.
Yeah, or that's just your people and you want to support. Don't expect anything back from someone, because
I think she is expecting
a lot of times you're going to get disappointed.
Right.
So I think that's the main notion.
I can't wait to see how he explains that dumb shit.
I can't wait
to see. We saw the clip of the teaser where she's like, oh, you could be sleeping next to the devil. So I'm imagining that this is pertaining to this phone call, that this disrespect. Even if they're there for 2 weeks, he couldn't not speak to this bitch for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And then FaceTime her in the closet like he normally does. Like, he could not. He could have told her, like, I'll be you. If she says, oh, you're alone, that means that she knows that he's married. He's a public figure. So he could have been like, look, you know what this is. I'm going to celebrity whatever for 2 weeks, and I'll talk to you when I'm done, because the cameras are everywhere and I don't want no problems. So he does want problems. And then what is that about? Why do you want problems?
So I guess we'll see on the next episode. So thanks again for joining us at NYC Chat Room with Tiffany and Lauren for our Marriage Boot Camp episode 5 recap. See you guys next week for episode 6.